John starts us off with a Mycosynth Gardens as his first land of the game, which he taps to cast Candy Trail, scrying 2 and passing to Tom. Tom plays a Sea of Clouds untapped and taps it to cast Speaker of the Heavens. He passes to Extra. Extra plays a Humble Forest for turn, while Sam plays a Swamp for his. The turn goes back to John. John plays a Wastes, then taps out for his commander, Sir Ginger. He then passes to Tom. Tom plays a Plains for turn, followed by an Augur Ilvek. He attacks Extra with a Speaker for 1, then passes the turn. Extra plays a Corplusion Forest, then casts a Goblin Narcomancer, taking 1 damage, and moves it to Sam. Sam plays a Corplusion Forest of his own, then ramps himself with an Arcane Signet. With nothing else, he passes. John plays an Inventor's Fair, and taps 3 to cast Palladium Mirror. He moves to combat, swinging his commander at Sam for 3, before passing to Tom. Tom starts off with a Knight of the White Orchid, getting a Plains from his library. He then plays a Deserted Beach for turn. He attacks John with his Augur Ilvek and Sam with his Speaker, then passes to Extra. Extra plays the Forest for turn, then uses 3 green to cast Tribute to the World Tree, taking 1 damage. He passes to Sam. Sam plays a Swamp, followed by a Chromatic Sphere. He casts a Mayhem Devil for his sacrifice payoff, then passes to John. On John's upkeep, he gains 1 life thanks to Inventor's Fair. He plays the Waste for turn. He then casts Forsaken Monument, giving his colorless creatures a static +2/+2. He swings Sir Ginger at Tom, who declares no blocks. Before damage, John sacks his Candy Trail to draw 1 and gain 3, triggering Sir Ginger to get a +1/+1 counter and scry 1, while Sam's Mayhem Devil triggers to ping Tom's Speaker. Tom then takes 6 damage and moves to his turn. On his turn, Tom plays an island, then casts his commander, Will, Scion of Peace. He attacks John with Knight of the White Orchid and Augur Ilvek, then passes to Extra. Extra plays Yavimaya, Cradle Grove for turn. He casts Ozolith, the Shattered Spire, then follows it up with a Frontier God, triggering Tribute to the World Tree, giving it 2 +1/+1 counters, and an additional 1 thanks to Ozolith. He casts his own commander, Agatha, taking 1 damage to Corplusion Forest. Tribute triggers again, and puts 3 +1/+1 counters on Agatha, discounting Extra's activated abilities by a whopping 4 mana. Extra then passes to Sam. Sam plays a Smoldering Marsh untapped, then casts a Canker Bloom, and a Riveteer's Ascendancy. He passes to John. On John's upkeep, he gains 1 to Inventor's Fair. He plays Phyrexia's Core as his land for turn. He then decides to spice the game up by sacking his Inventor's Fair to tutor for none other than Khar Clan Ironworks. He immediately casts that card he tutored for, triggering his Forsaken Monument and gaining 2 life. Before KCI resolves, Tom counters it with a timely Dovin's Veto. Dismayed, John continues by casting Scrapyard Recombiner, gaining 2 from Forsaken Monument. He passes to Tom. Tom plays Venser's Journal and does nothing else. He passes to Extra. Extra plays a Kessig Wolfrun for turn. He plays Ortheon, Hero of Lavabrink, drawing a card off Tribute of the World Tree. He passes to Sam. Sam plays Llanowar Wastes for turn. He pays 1 and sacks his Cankerbloom to destroy John's Forsaken Monument, triggering Mayhem Devil to deal 1 damage to John's Palladium Mirror. Monument is destroyed. Sir Ginger gets another 1/1 counter and scries 1. Sam then proceeds to sack his Chromatic Sphere to draw 1 and kill the Palladium Mirror with Mayhem Devil. Sir Ginger consequently gets another counter and John scries 1. Sam caps off his turn with a Seal of Primordium, then passes to John. John plays a Mirror Retriever, and with nothing else, passes to Tom. On Tom's upkeep, he gains 3 to Venser's Journal. He plays a Radiant Fountain for turn, gaining 2 life. He plays Alhamrad's Archive, doubling his life gain and card draw. He moves to his end step, where Extra activates his Frontier Guide to fetch a tapped mountain. The turn then moves to Extra. Extra plays a command tower for turn. He casts Nature's Lore. Finding a Cinderglade, he activates the Ozolith, giving Agatha 2 more +1/+1 counters. He activates Ortheon, making a copy of Frontier Guide, which he proceeds to tap to fetch another mountain. At end of turn, the copy is sacked, triggering Mayhem Devil to ping John's Mirror Retriever. In response, John activates his Scrapyard Recombiner, sacking the Retriever and tutoring a Workshop Assistant into his hand. Mayhem Devil triggers and pings John for 1, while Sun Ginger gets a 1/1 counter and John scries 1. The Retriever's Death trigger also lets John get back his KCI. When Extra moves to his next phase, Sam casts Roiling Regrowth, sacking his Swamp and getting 2 basics, pinging John with Mayhem Devil again. Sam then moves to his turn. He starts by sacking Seal of Primordium to destroy Tribute to the Whirler Tree, pinging John with Mayhem Devil. Sam then finally casts his commander, Korvold, Gleeful Glutton, attacks Tom with Korvold, putting 4 1/1 counters on it and drawing 4. He plays a tapped Overgrown Tomb as his land for turn, then passes to John. John's only play is a Scrap Trawler before passing to Tom. On Tom's upkeep, he gains 4th Fencer's Journal. He takes no actions, and on his end step, Extra activates his Frontier Guide to get a tapped mountain from his library. Extra then moves to his turn. He first casts Diviner's Wand, then moves to equip it to his Goblin and Narcomancer. Tom responds, however, with a Swords to Plowshares targeting Agatha. Agatha bites the dust, Extra gains 6. Then he plays a Forest for turn and recasts his commander. He passes to Sam. Sam plays a mountain for turn. He attacks Extra with Korvold, putting 4 1/1 counters on it and drawing 4. In his second main, he casts Vraska, Golgari Queen, and uses her -3 to destroy Extra's Diviner's Wand. He continues by killing Will using Infernal Grasp. He then moves to John. John plays a Temple of the False God, then decides he's waited long enough and tries to go off for the win. Of course, he starts by casting KCI. He sacks Sir Ginger to KCI, triggering Scrap Trawler to return Candy Trail from his graveyard to his hand. Mayhem Devil also triggers, pinging the Scrap Trawler for 1. With the triggers on the stack, Sam tries to Beast Within John's KCI. John responds by sacking Scrap Trawler to KCI, triggering Trawler to return Mirror Retriever from his graveyard to his hand, and Mayhem Devil to ping Agatha this time. John then activates KCI to sack itself, triggering Mayhem Devil to ping John. John uses the floating mana to cast Ugin the Ineffable, and uses his minus ability to destroy the Mayhem Devil. He plays Mirror Retriever, then sacks it to Scrapyard Recombiner, getting a Hangerback Walker into his hand. Retriever's Death trigger also puts KCI back into his hand. He recasts KCI. He plays Hangerback Walker for X=1, then sacks it to KCI, then presents a loop of making infinite mana by sack looping Workshop Assistant and Mirror Retriever, then returning and recasting Scrap Trawler, sacking the Recombiner to return Mirror Retriever to his hand with Scrap Trawler, then looping his Candy Trail to draw his deck, finding Ariette's Tempting Apple, and using that to kill all 3 of his opponents.